everybody for your subscriptions and all of your views and people who like this channel. We're trying to bring you only the best in product reviews and various survival tactics and techniques.
Although it's still early in the investigation, we know enough to say that this was an act of terror. And as Americans, we are united to defend our people.
At first, I thought it was just a normal outage. I thought it was just a normal power outage. I wasn't really that worried. I went outside, looked around a little bit, fired the generators up, got some of the electronics in here going. But that's when I started noticing that most of the electronics was fried at that point. I dug this camera in an older GoPro that I got out of my lock box that I keep out in my building. It's a little box that's supposed to be guard against electromagnetic pulse. I bought it on eBay, as a matter of fact. And I guess it works because these devices that were in it work. I mean, why would I have a box like that? Well, I am a prepper. But the situation is much more serious than I expected. On my ham radio, started getting in touch, trying to get in touch with people, and at first I wasn't getting any response. But the longer I tried, the more people I was able to speak to. And this is bad. This is really bad. So I guess if you're seeing this, maybe I didn't make it. But I'm going to document everything from here on out, just so we have a general idea of how things went down. Well, it's been 6 hours now since the grid went down. I was able to wire up an analog antenna, just an old rabbit ears I had, to this old Zenith TV that I had out in the shed. And it's a pretty old TV, but apparently it still used old enough electronics that they didn't get fried, or maybe I just got lucky on it. Caught a few signals coming across the waves, and this is a global event. This is worldwide. Apparently it started with an EMP attack on the US, and obviously we retaliated. And from what I understand now, what little bit I've been able to get from the news and from radio broadcast, a little bit of radio going on out here, and also the ham radio, what I've been able to talk to people is that about 98 to 99% of the world is without power. And not just without power, but with the devastation of an EMP attack, the devices that we use to create, generate, distribute power, and the devices that we use that consume power, these devices are now burnt up, to put it bluntly. We don't have a means to distribute power the way we did. This event has knocked us back 100 years, maybe 200. It's going to be a tough going from here. I'm not really sure how to proceed, but I know this, according to what little broadcast I have been able to pick up, total anarchy and chaos has already set in. The cities are already becoming war zones. Crime everywhere, murder, stealing, breaking in places, total destruction. Saw some little footage from some of the events going on in the larger cities. It seems like the criminals put two and two together. As soon as the grid went down, they realized that communications went down with it. And who's to stop a bad guy if you can't call 911? Because 911 is not active right now. I've tried it. Right now, the only thing that's active is what you have in your hands, your minds, and your hearts. So, right now, as a people, as individuals, you got to dig deep, and we've got to find a way to work. All right, it's 6 o'clock here. It's 6 o'clock now. The power's been out for 6 hours. That means the power went out at noon. My boys got out of school. Today was a half a day, so they got out about 11:30, which means they were on their way home from school when this hit. The fact that it's 6 hours later and I haven't seen them tells me that the car was affected by the attack. So that means they are without transportation. In that car, I had 2 bug-out bags in the trunk that could keep them boys alive for a good week to 2 weeks. There was also a weapon in the trunk they didn't know about, but as they pulled the bug-out bags out, I'm sure they'll see it because it's in there. It's a pistol. The only problem is I didn't leave any ammunition in there. I'd taken it out. So my best plan is, I know where their school is. I know where I am. I know they're on their way here from their school. We had an alternate route planned out. I told them I am a prepper, so I had warned them about the dangers of an EMP attack or something similar to where they couldn't go into town because of the dangers associated with being around people. And there's a route that they're supposed to take. There are 2 routes. The first and the second route, as we called it. The first route was a direct route which led them straight to here. It definitely goes through the woods and bypasses all of the town. The second or secondary route was much further around the county. Knowing my boys, they took the first route. I'm assuming they took the first route, and that's the way I'm going to head out from here. I've got my map together, I've got my compass, I've got all my gear, fixing to gear up, suit up, and I'm going to head down the road and I'm going to find my boys. Going to get my boys. Yeah, I've got to find the kids. I have 4 boys. They range in age from 12 to 18. My oldest one, number 1, he's in boot camp right now. So I'm not really sure how that's going to turn out. He's in boot camp, so I'm pretty sure he's been activated at this point. But there's no way I'm going to find out. My other 3, they're in school today. It's a half day, so I know they're already out of school. My oldest, number 2, he's driving the car. He's picking up the 2 younger ones. He was doing me a favor today by picking them up from school. If only I had driven today. But so I have a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 16-year-old. And they're lost in a society where the grid is down. The reports are already coming in. There's already chaos. There's already riots. There are already murders. And these are just a few reports I've been able to gather across some analog airwaves. And there's not much of that. The ham radio says the world is in chaos. What reports they do have. The EMP strike originally started on the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, and also some parts of South America. But as soon as the EMPs were detected that they were on their way here, instead of shooting them all down, for some reason we just fired EMPs back. And apparently, it isn't just North America and parts of South America, or probably the majority of South America, that's in the dark now. It's the whole world. We've went back to the dark ages with a population of 7.5 billion people. This is going to be total chaos. There's not enough food to feed these people. There's not enough supplies to keep these people safe. We already see that it's turning into chaos, and it's only going to get worse. All of this talk, all of the prepper shows, all of the supposition, the guessing, the hypotheses about when the grid goes down, you've got 72 hours. No, you don't. From what I've seen, when the grid went down, you had about 72 minutes. Because the bad guys, they're not stupid. They know that loss of power equals loss of communications. And with loss of communications, when they try to rob you, you can't call 911. When they set your house on fire, you don't call the fire department. When you're injured, you can't call an ambulance. We all better hope we can take care of ourselves, because there's going to be no one there to do it. So the crime started immediately. And I seriously doubt it's going to let up anytime soon. It's probably going to continue through the duration of this. With the grid down, from what I've seen, with the EMP strike, it didn't just knock the power out and we have a reset button that we push somewhere to turn it back on. It fried all of the sensitive electronics and all of the devices that create, generate, and deliver this power to us. With those devices fried, you can't supply power to those who need it. And those who need it now, the devices we use to consume that power to provide an easier way of living are not functioning. So even if the power is established, no one has anything that'll work. So this is going to be a tough situation. It already is. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get across the county. I have about 22 miles to go to my children's school, or the one that I suppose they were leaving from. And I'm going to have to travel through the woods, so it's not going to be an easy journey. There will be other people along the way. I'm not the only one with this idea. And it will come a time to where I have to make a choice to defend myself, to turn my back, whatever. And the choice I will make is to protect my children, to protect myself. We're going to try and meet up. We're going to try and get together. I'm going to find them. We're going to get out of here. We're going to get up into the mountains. We're going to lay low for a little while. I do have the satellite radio. I do have some solar panels, some very small portable solar panels that fit in my backpack that I can charge this camera and the satellite phone and the ham radio that I do have, that I had in my EMP box. So hopefully we'll be able to establish or at least monitor communications and have a pretty good idea of what's going on. But as for now, we have no choice but to assume this is permanent, or at least semi-permanent. It's not going to go away in 2 or 3 days when they clear a tree off the power lines. This isn't going away anytime soon. The world just changed, and we saw it firsthand. leaving the house, I took everything that I could take with me, everything that I thought I would need. It's never going to be enough, but I'm hoping that I can find the boys along the way, that I don't have to travel too far. Don't really know what it's going to bring yet, but I've already traveled a good little distance and no sign of anything, at least not my boys yet. Over. Boys, can you read me? Over. Boys, come in. Over. That's my car. Where's my car? Boys! 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 Boys, come in. Can you hear me? Boys, come in. I found the car. Where are you? Can you hear me? Can't reach them on the radio. I've been trying this whole trip. Been walking for hours now, and so far no luck. Maybe I'll have better luck in a little bit, but I'm pretty close to their school now, or at least within a few miles, so I'm hoping to see something very soon.
Come in, over.
I hear you, over.
But 3 isn't with us.
Roger that. Where's your location? Where are y'all? Over.
We're at the house. But 3 isn't with us. Over.
What? Over.
This big dude, he came out of nowhere and took him. I can't believe it. It's crazy.
No. Which way did they go? Which way did he take him? Over.
He took him south. Over.
Roger that. Meet me at the Hideout on Route 1. You remember where that's at?
Yeah, I remember. Over.
Roger that. I'll see you there. Don't worry, I'll get him back. Over.
10-4, over.
Situation just got complicated. I got a hold of number 2 and number 4 on the radio, and they told me number 3 had been taken by a big guy with a gun, and he tried to shoot them apparently, and he took my boy. I don't really know what somebody's gonna do with a boy that age, but the thoughts that come to mind are not good. So I know I have one choice and one choice only, and that's to get him back. So I'm going to follow their trail as best I can. I know which way they headed, and hopefully I can pick up their trail in the woods, and I can get my boy back.
You're my bait, boy.
Broken branches, these are fresh. They've got to be close by. They're close by.
close.
I see number 3, but I don't see the big guy. I'm afraid this is some kind of setup. I've got to keep my eyes open, but I'm going to get my boy out of there. Where is he? Where is he? Out of here. We're gonna have to be quiet. I don't know where he is, but we're gonna get Run! Run!
The gunshot wound went underneath my armpit, through my lat. It doesn't feel like it hit bone, but it's bleeding pretty bad. And here's the big guy.
Where's the rest of the bags at, boy?
No! And I'm hurt. This gunshot wound has taken its toll. I've lost a lot of blood. But there's a lot more than me just at stake here. I have 3 boys that are lost in the woods right now. People are after us, trying to take our stuff. It's amazing. Hasn't even been 24 hours yet. But I know one thing. I will not fail my studies. You took my son. Now, you're gonna pay, boy. Do you know what the word pain means? Well, I'm fixing to redefine that for you.
You want some more, boy? This ain't over. Now the pain begins, boy.
It's been a rough day so far. The gunshot wound, it doesn't feel like it hit bone, but it's bleeding pretty bad. It hasn't even been 24 hours since the EMP. Hasn't even been 10, even in this small part of the world. Humanity has already turned against each other. People against people. People taking what they want, not just what they need. And through all this, so far, I've managed to lose one of my boys. The other two are coming to meet me. I have to meet them at our hideout. That's what we call it. Looks like I'm not going to get that Father of the Year award. I'm going to keep in touch with number 2 and number 4 on the radio, and I'm going to try and track down number 3. I'm going to try and follow his trail. God help me. But please forgive me, Father, for the sins I may have to commit. The sins I will have to commit. But through it all, no matter what I have to do, no matter what I have to take, I will find my sons. I will bring them back to me.
gonna head in the direction of the hideout. I know this is the way the boys are headed. If I can catch up to 2 and 4 before they get there, that would be great. I'm worried about the other people that I've ran across in the woods. Not really sure if they know the boys are even out there, but I do believe they do, and that could be quite a problem. I never really wanted any of this to happen. Never hoped it would happen. We were prepared, but not as prepared as we should have been. I don't think anyone was. How can you really prepare for the apocalypse? All you can do is hope, pray, pull together, stand together as a family. And that's why we have to find each other. Now, to find my boys. Once I find them 2, then find number 4. For 1, I don't know where he's at. I know he was in boot camp, and I'm not really sure what's happened from that. Once the 4 of us get together, then we're going to start looking for him. But as for now, objective number 1, get to the hideout and make sure my boys are safe. We live in the foothills of the mountains, so there's a lot of forest here. As large as it seems, though, I'm actually quite surprised at how many people I've ran across. I'd hate to be in town right now. Heck, it's getting crowded enough in the forest. On my way home, I ran across 4 guys. They definitely had bad intentions. They opened fire on me as soon as they saw me. When those 4 guys opened up on me, I returned fire. I took one of them out, and the other 3 managed to get away. Actually, they didn't get very far, but they got far enough in these dense woods that I couldn't get a clear shot. I posted up and I hid, I took cover, and I watched them. And the funny thing was, they didn't seem to even care about the guy I took out. They took his stuff, stripped him clean, and left his naked, dead body laying there. So these are some ruthless guys I'm dealing with, and the bad news is, they're gonna cross paths with my boys. And when I heard them talking on the radio, they were talking to the big guy, the one I fought earlier. So they must be a team, a group of some sort. This is getting more complicated by the minute. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for these guys on the way back. If I run across them, I'm gonna have to take them out. I don't want them to make it to my kids or to the hideout.
Can't really get a clear shot, so I need to put some distance between me and them and go find the kids.
Well, boys, looks like a good spot to camp out for a little bit.
Yeah.
How about y'all boys? I'm getting hungry. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, man.
I was able to establish communications with the boys pretty easy. They had the walkie-talkies, the radios, just like I had told them to. They followed the plan exactly as we had laid out. And apparently they're on their way to the hideout. I'm worried that they're going to cross paths with the big guy. I'm really worried about that. But these boys are pretty smart, and maybe they can avoid him. I've gathered what supplies I can carry. We don't need much because the majority of our supplies are at the hideout. So now it's time to hit the trail again and find my kids. I'm going to try to avoid these guys, to avoid any contact whatsoever with them. Not sure if I'm going to be able to because they're headed the same exact direction I am. But I have to get there first. I can't let them find my boys before I do. I guess we'll see what happens.
Found the boys. I will track them.
Well, it's about time.
I've seen where they're at. I've heard Prepper on the radio. I think I know where they're going. I'm gonna post up here. Over.
Nah, my boys are hungry. If he's in this area, we're gonna take him out.
You do what I told you to do, boys.
Man, this guy's done been seen in the area. I know he's coming this way. We gotta get him. We need those supplies. And then we need to find out where the rest of those supplies are at.
No, you do exactly what I told you to do, boy. And I'll deal with you when I get back.
Okay, that was him. What do you think? There's a guy been spotted coming this way. He's loaded. He's got everything we need. And they don't want us to mess with it. They want us to let him pass. I ain't in for it. We need it. We're gonna take it if we see him. What y'all say?
Yeah. You ready to buy?
Majority rules.
Power of Kevlar.
What do you see, Ed?
Looks like it.
Man down.
Fuck's up, boys.
Alright, boys, he's wounded. This sucker's mean. About to lay down some cover fire, Roddy. You're it. Not me. Well, you'll either lay us down some cover fire or you'll get left laying here.
Okay, this way, Roddy, you cover up.
Roddy, lay down some cover fire for us.
There comes a time in every man's life when he must make a choice between what seems good, what seems evil, what seems right, and what seems wrong. Not really sure what choice to make here. Should I let him go? Should I take him out? I've already learned that if I just let them go, they will come back. But if I take him out, then that blood's on my hands. I have him at a disadvantage. The choice is up to me. Live or die. I guess I have to weigh what's important here, and what's important to me is making it back to my boys. So I guess whoever has to die along the way, so be it. Lord, forgive me. Forgive me for these sins. Forgive me for what I've committed. Please forgive me for what I will do. He didn't want to die. He didn't even want to be here. Wrong place, wrong time. Whatever choice I have to make it back to my children, I will make that choice and I will stand by it.